pilot to leave Chicago bound for Europe. It's June 26, 1919, and drawbridge on the Chicago River rises to make way for the Lake Granby, laden with wheat and bound for Liverpool. A series of locks which permitted the Lake Granby to pass through the Great Lakes and onto the Atlantic had just been opened. Chicago, located almost 1,000 miles inland, has become an international seaport.
Remember Jackie Coogan? Here's the kid with Chauncey Depew, the railroad tycoon, in 1918, just after release of the picture that made him famous. At Grand Central, young Coogan captures the controls and becomes the envy of every boy in America. At Harmon, New York, Jackie is out to change locomotives and caps, and he'll help run a steam-driven train across country. Take a good look at Jackie Coogan, Charlie Chaplin's protege, who had enough money to retire before he was old enough to go to school. It's so long, Jackie, from these kids, and also from the Department of Wonderful Memories of yesterday's newsreel.
Forerunner of the transatlantic clipper. This is the Sikorsky amphibian plane constructed in 1931, largest seaplane ever built. Count Igor Sikorsky, who designed the huge flying ship, powered it with 4 850-horsepower engines. Transatlantic planes that followed introduction of the Sikorsky were patterned after the model you are now watching, photographed on its very first flight. Test flights between Miami and Cuba followed shortly after these pictures were taken, and plans for regularly scheduled transoceanic flights were made. Take a look at the controversial airship built after World War II by Howard Hughes. This is Hughes' seaplane, the Hercules, constructed at a cost of what was reported to be $25 million, $7 million of which was said to be Hughes' own money. This ship was to have been one of 500 cargo planes which could carry 700 passengers. The idea was sold to the government by Henry Kaiser, who chose Hughes as his partner. But November 1st, 1947 saw the 1-mile flight you are watching. November 23rd saw a test flight, and that's all. Headlines followed investigation of this project, and the amphibian never saw the skylines again.
Society's winter playground, Palm Beach, Florida, back in the 20s. Those were the days when beach fashions looked more suitable for a soiree than a swim. How to be grand on the sand with parasol and pooch. Society's pampered darlings preferred capes to coats of tan. Remember the Dolman coat? Putting on the dog to keep the wolves away. The big idea was to shun the sun. Well, which will you have? Today's cover girl or yesterday's cover-up girl?
Here we go back to the Yale Bowl in 1926 to watch Coach Tad Jones' Eli Blues clash with Georgia. Yale's ball on its own 30 and an off-tackle smash is good for 7 yards. The Blue again, this time in a pass play that's grabbed by a Yale end who's brought down after grabbing off 30 yards. It's another pass, this one a short one over the line, and there's no stopping the Yale receiver who legs it into the end zone for a score. Georgia fights hard, but Yale controls that pigskin. A full spinner and an 8-yard gain. Pretty deception, nets 5 through the line. Eli's en route for another tally. Blocking brought the crowd to its feet, and a final Yale score brought the Blue to victory over Georgia, 19-0. Let's jump over to London now. It's 1934, and an international dual track meet's underway. In the mile, England's Jack Lovelock is favored, but Bill Bonthron of Princeton's in the race, so anything can happen. Lovelock is in third place, but watch him as he starts to make his move. Bonthron's in front as England's great miler sets out to take over the lead. Watch it. Jack did it. He's up front. Bonthron second, but there's Bill's last bid for victory, and it falls short. The tape in sight, and old Bonthron never stops driving. It's Jack Lovelock of Oxford in New Zealand who snaps it across his chest for victory in the mile. To the victor belong the spoils and the close-ups.